All right, so we'll start in child's pose at the back of the mat with knees wide. Toes point together or maybe touch behind your body. And arms reach out long in front of you. Make sure that your forehead rests down on either the mat or a pillow or a prop underneath. And then right away, start to notice where you're trying to hold yourself up. Are you over tensing in the neck muscles? Are you creating tension around your shoulders? Are you squeezing tight around the center, around your belly? And see if you can let go of some of those pieces. Let yourself rest here and float on the surface of your mat. And start to notice your breath. When you're ready, you can start to slow down your breath. Inhales and exhales start to move in a more rhythmic pace. You might even start to find your ujjayi breath, a gentle closing of the whisper muscles in the back of your throat, like you're fogging a window on a cool day. Now, ujjayi breath is meant to be subtle, never forced, never extreme. We'll take just a few more rounds of breath here in child's pose. On your next breath in, reach your fingertips far forward. Lengthen both sides of your waist. And on your exhale, walk both hands over to the right side of your mat and let your left hip become heavy. Breathe into your left ribs. And option to take half bind. Right hand reaches behind your back as if you were placing it in your left back pocket. Gently firm your navel towards your spine and reach more through your left fingertips. Take one more breath in. And then breath out. Release both hands back down to the mat and come back to the center. And then come on up to tabletop pose, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Next breath in, left arm spins high, reach up. And exhale, thread the needle, left shoulder and cheek towards the mat. Again, you can take the half bind if you'd like, right hand into back left pocket, or you can keep your hand firmly down on the mat. Now, left arm presses down into the ground, navel hugs in, and right shoulder leans up and back. One more breath in. And exhale, back to tabletop pose. If you'd like the counter stretch, left arm towards the ceiling. And set it down. Cow pose is breath in, soften your belly, look forward. Cat pose is breath out, hug navel in, round your spine. Inhale to cow, heart opens. Exhale to cat, squeeze and round. Just one more in this set, cow pose. And cat pose. Find a long neutral spine and step back to child's pose, knees wide, hips towards heels. Fingertips reach out far in front of you, lengthen both sides of your waist. And then walk both hands over to the left for right side body stretch. Let your right hip be heavy. And left hand into back right pocket, half bind behind you. Lightly squeeze navel towards spine and press your shins down into the mat. Reach more through your right fingertips. One more breath in. Both hands down, and come on back to center. Tabletop pose, take your time. Coming up, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. This time first is cat pose. Press all of the air out round your spine. And then breath into cow. Breath out to cat, shoulder blades open wide. And inhale to cow. Let's take one more cat pose, round your spine. And then land in a neutral tabletop. Right arm spins high towards the ceiling, look up. And thread the needle, right shoulder and cheek to the mat. Left hand can stay where it is, or you can take left hand into back right pocket. Squeeze navel in and lean left shoulder back as you press through the back of your right arm. Last inhale. Come on back to tabletop pose. Option to spin the right arm towards the ceiling. And set it down. All right, puppy pose. Walk your hands out in front of you. Hips stay over knees. Hug your bottom ribs in and allow your heart to melt down towards the ground. For some, the heart or head might actually touch the ground, but no need to get there. And keep hugging the ribs in the whole time. Nice long spine. Stay for one more inhale. Lift your chest and step your hands back a couple of inches. Downward facing dog. Flip your toes, lift your hips, and take 5 full rounds of breath here. You might choose to be in stillness, or you might pedal out the knees, turn your head side to side. And let your breath really be your focus here. Finding the cadence, the rhythm that feels comfortable and sustainable for you. All right, if you are moving around, find some stillness in your down dog. Press down through all corners of your hands, wrap your triceps down. Sit bones point up towards the ceiling and thighs firm back behind you. A super strong base here in your downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg behind you. Bend your knee and peel your hip open. Squeeze right heel to right glute and keep pressing through your hands. Inhale to lengthen your leg behind you. And exhale to step right foot forward, back knee down to the mat. Anjaneyasana, reach both hands high. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other and lengthen your tailbone down towards the ground. One more breath in. Plant your hands, lift your back knee and step forward. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out, knees bend. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to heart and down by your sides. Inhale, sweep your hands up. And exhale, dive down, spine stays long. Half lift, breathe in. Plant your hands and step right leg back, knee down to the mat. Both hands sweep high. Inner thighs hug in, tailbone lengthens down. Pinky fingers spin in towards each other. Soften your jaw. One more breath in. Downward facing dog. Plant your hands and step back. Stay for breath in. And breath out. Lift your left leg behind you. Bend your knee, peel your hip open. Squeeze left heel to left glute and press down more through your hands. Inhale, lengthen leg behind you. And exhale, step through, back knee down to the mat. Anjaneyasana, One breath in, reach up. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Stand tall, reach hands up with a breath in. Hands to heart center, breath out. Inhale, reach your hands high, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, breathe in. Plant your hands and step left leg back, knee to the mat. Anjaneyasana, hands sweep up. One breath in. Downward facing dog, plant your hands and step back. Stay for one breath in. And one breath out. Inhale, lift tight to toes. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Half lift, inhale. Now just fold, separate your feet wide, and let's take ragdoll. Hands to opposite elbows. Knees can bend generously. Hug your navel up and in towards your rib basket. Press the outer edges of your feet down onto the mat. You might even shift your weight slightly forward towards the balls of your feet. These forward folding poses are very activated poses. We use all of the muscles of legs and core to make sure we're not injuring the low back. One more breath here. Release your hands down and heel toe your feet closer together. Half lift, squeeze navel in. Fold forward, release. Urdhva Hastasana, hands sweep overhead. And then just forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Plant your hands and step right leg back, knee up or down, your choice. Inhale, sweep both hands high. Exhale, downward facing dog, plant your hands and step back. Inhale, right leg lifts high behind you. Bend your knee, peel your hip open, squeeze heel to glute. Inhale, lengthen leg behind you, square your hip. Exhale, step through, back knee up or down. One inhale, sweep hands high, look up. And exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Half lift, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Hands overhead, take up space. And just fold, hinge from hips. One more round of Sun-Si. Halfway lift, breathe in. Left leg steps back, breathe out. Lunge, reach hands up, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Left leg lifts high behind you. Bend your knee, peel your hip open, exhale. Inhale, lengthen leg, square your hips. Exhale, step through. Last one for now. Hands reach high, hug your thighs towards each other. And forward fold at the top of the mat. Half lift, shoulder blades down and back. Fold forward, breathe out. Stand tall, reach up. Hands to heart and pause. Breathe out. Spread your toes out wide, press down through your feet, and relax your shoulders. We'll head towards Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. High plank pose, knees up or down, your choice. Shoulders directly over wrists. Press down through all 10 fingers as you open shoulder blades wide and hug your frontal hip points towards your belly button. Shift forward, shoulders over knuckles, and very slowly this first time, lower down. Elbows bend back 90 degrees and brush your ribs. We'll take 3 rounds here. Baby Cobra, inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, release down. Again, Baby Cobra or Cobra, lift your heart, triceps wrap back. Release down, breathe out. Last one, Up Dog, Cobra or Baby Cobra, your choice. And then press back through child's pose. Breathe out. Breath here. And downward facing dog. Know that you're welcome to take child's pose at any point throughout your practice. And let's flow sun salutation A. Inhale, lift high to toes. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. High plank, knees up or down. Inhale, shift forward, look forward. Exhale, lower down slowly, elbows point straight back. Up dog or cobra, lift heart high. Downward facing dog, lift your hips. One breath to stay. Lovely, 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift high to toes. Look forward, step or hop. Half lift, navel it. Forward fold, breathe out. Urdhva Hastasana, sweep up. Uttanasana, forward fold. Half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Either vinyasa or step straight back to down dog. Vinyasa can be high to low as we were doing, or it might be a cat-cow, or any other transition that's calling to you. We land in down dog for 1 breath. And last round, inhale, lift to toes. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Half lift, breath in. Fold forward, breath out. Stand tall, reach up. Fold forward, breathe out. Half lift, inhale. Vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. No matter what, an inhale. And an exhale. We land in down dog. Lift your right leg behind you. Bend your knee and peel your hip open. This time allow your belly button to face the right if that works for you. And you can either stay or flip your dog. Right leg steps back behind you. And flip dog. All 10 toes face the same way with both feet flat. Press down through the bottom hand, squeeze navel in. Last inhale. Downward facing dog. Second side. Left leg lifts high. Bend your knee, peel your hip open, maybe navel rolls to face the left. And then go ahead and step back if you'd like to flip dog. Navel squeezes in, both feet flat. Breath in. Downward facing dog. Make a choice here. Child's pose, down dog, or forearm plank. Child's pose, down dog, or forearm plank. Last piece of our warm-up today. Try not to think too hard about your decision. Choose the one that feels right today. And take a few breaths there. Now, only if you're in forearm plank, take 1 more inhale. And Sphinx pose, only if you are in forearm plank. Hips down, heart lifts, elbows drag back towards heels. Now, if you are in Sphinx, press back through child's pose. And we all meet in downward facing dog. And let's start to add on to our sequence today. Add some new shapes in. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you. Knee to nose, shift forward, look forward. Inhale, lengthen your leg behind you. And exhale, step through. Back heel down to the mat, warrior 1. Sweep your hands high. Right hip draws back as tailbone lengthens down. Soften the sides of your neck. Notice the pinky edge of your back foot and press it down to the mat. We're activating through the legs. Hands go behind your back. You can interlace fingers or take opposite wrists. Hug your bottom ribs in. Take a breath in. Humble warrior. Bow down, either belly to thigh or belly inside of thigh. Keep drawing your right hip back as you press to the back edge of the back foot. Both legs working. Find your breath. One more inhale. Now, release your hands down inside of your right foot, supported humble warrior. See if that allows you to bow down just a bit deeper. Straighten both arms. Side angle, right arm low, left arm high. Keep the bend in the right knee. You can stay here or you can take that half bind, left hand into back right pocket or onto right thigh. Trust your feet and reverse your warrior. If you have the half bind, you can keep it. If not, don't worry about it. Tailbone lengthens down, breathe into right ribs. One more breath. Hands circle down to the mat. Choose either vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Second side. Left leg lifts high behind you. Breath in. Knee to nose, shift forward, look forward. Inhale, lengthen leg behind you. And exhale, step through, back heel down. Warrior one. Left hip draws back. Frontal hip points lift up. Locate the outer edge of your back foot and press down through it. Widen your gaze. Now, hands behind your back, interlace, or you could take fist to sacrum. Hug your mid-ribs in, breath in. Humble warrior, bow down. Left hip draws back, back foot presses back and down. Maybe you soften your neck. Humble warrior is a pose of surrender, of trust in your own practice, in your own self. Carefully release hands down inside of left leg. Supported humble warrior. Maybe you bow a bit deeper with that extra support. Straighten through both arms. Side angle. Right arm spins high. You can keep left hand down on the mat or you can take elbow to thigh. Navel in, rotate it up towards the ceiling. Half bind if you want it. Right hand into back left pocket or onto left thigh. Keep hugging navel in. And now, trust your feet, press down to rise up. Reverse your warrior. You can keep the half bind, you can release it. Breathe into left ribs. Inhale. Hands circle down, vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Either way, a slow inhale, take your time, and a slow exhale. We'll take about 2 breaths before we find our flow. And remember, you can leave any piece out. You could add anything in. My guidelines are just a suggestion, just one of many ways that you might take your practice today. All right, inhale, right leg lifts high. Knee to right shoulder, shift forward. Inhale, lengthen leg behind you. Exhale, step through, back heel down. Warrior one, breathe in. Now, supported humble warrior, hands down to the mat, bow down. Breath out. Side angle, left arm spins high. Stay or half bind. Breathe out. Left hand behind your back. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Exhale, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Left leg lifts high. Knee to left shoulder, shift forward. Inhale, lengthen leg behind you. Exhale, step through, back heel down. Warrior one, stand tall. Supported humble, hands to the mat, bow down. Side angle, right arm spins high. Stay or half bind, right hand behind your back. Lovely. Reverse warrior, one breath in. Vinyasa or skip it, breath out. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 to 4 breaths to land. And we'll move through the sequence just one more time. All right. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, just step it through. Really take your time, no rush. Warrior one, hands up. Supported humble, hands to the mat. Side angle, left arm reaches high. Maybe take the half bind to breathe out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Vinyasa of your choice. I'm going to choose a cow pose on my breath in and cat on my breath out. That leads straight into down dog. Last side, left leg lifts. Take your time to step through as you breathe out. Warrior one, hands up. Supported, humble, touch the mat. Right arm reaches up. Option for half bind. Reverse, breathe in. Vinyasa of your choice. Maybe it's a press back to child's pose for a moment. Breath in. And breath out. All right, let's all come down to child's pose. In child's pose today, keep the hips back where they normally go in your child's pose, but we're going to thread the needle from here. So left hand threads behind the right. And it's a little bit different than the tabletop thread because our thighs are resting back towards calves rather than keeping hips lifted. Come on back to center. And second side. Right arm threads underneath of left. Take a couple of deep belly breaths here. And then back to center. One last variation. Forehead to the neck and arms wrap around the outsides of your legs with palms up. Some will like to take this version with the hands insides of the legs. You're welcome to that as well. It tends to not be as comfortable universally though, so your choice. And only as you're ready, hands reach out in front of you and make your way back to downward facing dog. Lift up high onto your toes. And baby steps to the front of your mat, at least 6 steps to get to the top. Hips can go higher, knees can bend. And at the top, it'll be Padangusthasana, feet wide. First 2 fingers and thumbs wrap around big toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to make that connection. And then press down through the outer edges of your feet, from the outer thighs out to the sides. Hug navel in and up. And lightly pull up on your toes with elbows pointing out to the sides. Fully activated in this forward fold. And those activations are never extreme. It can just be 10% on each one. One more inhale. Release your toes. And heel toe your feet closer together. Hands to shins, bend your knees. Chair pose. Rise up. Inner thighs hug in towards each other. Notice your gaze out in front of you. Hands to heart center, take a breath in. Twist right. You can stay tall, or you can hook left elbow to right thigh. Top arm presses into the bottom, navel hugs in. Option for another variation. Left hand goes flat across the front of your chest and right arm reaches high. You might even take the half bind. One more breath in. And then carefully spill forward, forward fold. Half lift, knees bent. Chair pose, last one. Hands to heart center, breathe in. Twist left. You can stay tall or hook right elbow to left thigh. Navel in, heart rolls up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here or take your right palm flat across the front of your chest, anywhere that it's comfortable, and left arm reaches up. Maybe half bind, left hand into back right pocket. Lean your left shoulder back. One more inhale. Carefully spill forward. Take your feet wide and we'll set up for gorilla pose, palms under soles. Knees bend a lot. Halfway lift with your gorilla pose. Lengthen your spine and then fold into it. Outer edges of the feet press down, thighs firm out, sit bones point up, navel in. A lot of things we can pay attention to here. And then let your neck soften. One more slow breath in. And one at a time, release your hands and heel toe your feet closer together. We'll rise up to Tadasana, standing. You might roll up or you might come up through a flat back. If you have a sensitive low back, I recommend not rolling up. We'll land for a moment, palms face forward. Just listen for your breath. All right, tree pose. We'll start standing on the left leg. Right knee turns out to the right side. And it can be right heel to ankle, calf, or thigh. Your choice. Half lotus is also an option if you practice that. Press through both feet equally. Maybe you reach your hands up and out of view. Inhale. And release. Shake out arms and legs. And switch sides. Stand on the right foot. Left knee out to the right side. Heel to ankle, calf, or thigh. Make sure that the standing hip isn't popping out to the side. Instead, press down through the leg and squeeze both hips into the center. Maybe you reach hands up and out of view. One more breath in and release. Shake out arms and legs. And go ahead and step up top of your mat. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips with toes pointing slightly out. Spread your toes. Inhale, reach up. Sink your hips back. We're coming into Buddha squat. Take your time. You're welcome to sit on a prop here, hands to heart. Navel hugs it, back body length. You're welcome to take crow here if that's part of your practice. Or you might try on a few rocks from front to back of your feet, shifting the center of balance. Now, very intentionally stay for one more round of breath. Stay for the whole inhale and whole exhale. And then make your way to downward facing dog. You can step back, you can hop back, you can move through a vinyasa. And we're heading towards our final standing poses. Inhale, right leg lifts high behind you. Exhale, step through, high crescent lunge. Back heel stays lifted. One more breath in. Hands to heart and twist right. I'm going to switch directions here to demo a little bit better. You can stay with your hands as they are, or you can place left hand across the front of your chest and reach right hand up. Maybe even right hand into back left pocket. Lean your right shoulder back. Inhale, option to open your arms wide. And exhale to warrior two. I like to pass through center crescent lunge first to make sure I get there safely. First, hold of warrior two. Tailbone lengthens down. But we won't be here too long. Straighten your front leg. Bring left hand to left hip and let's shorten the stance. Left foot steps up. Right hip tucks behind left for triangle pose. Right arm low, left arm high. Right hand can go to the ground, to the mat, or to your leg or block. Option for half bind. Last one. Left hand into back right pocket. For some, fingertips on top of the thigh. For some, full bind. Right hand swivels under the left leg. We'll take just a few breaths here. Release any bind that you have. Little bend in the front knee. Wide leg forward fold. Hands come in between the legs and all 10 toes face the left. Prasarita Padottanasana. Press through outer edges of your feet and let your spine lengthen towards the ground. Soft jaw. Hands under shoulders, find halfway lift and come all the way up to standing. All 10 toes face the front of your mat and step your back foot up about halfway. We'll set up for pyramid pose, so if you do have blocks with you, those are super handy. The back foot is turned out about 45 degrees. Inhale to reach hands up. And exhale to hinge over your front leg as you draw the right hip back. Press through right big toe mound and outer edge of back foot. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. And then left hand stays low. Right arm reaches out to the side and up for a revolved triangle. Last breath in. Both hands down. Step the back foot back and come into your lizard lunge. Left knee down to the mat, right knee bends, and both hands inside of the right foot. You can stay right here, or you can add on another variation. You can open right knee out to the right side. Some might bend the back knee and reach for a foot. Some might come down to forearms. Take a few breaths. Whatever you choose, try not to collapse in the chest. Keep your heart opening. All right, make your way back to your low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. Back knee lifts up off the mat. Step back into high plank pose. Breathe in. And then a vinyasa or downward facing dog. Breathe out. Inhale here. And exhale. Last standing poses. Left leg lifts high. Step through. Breathe out. High crescent lunge. Hands to heart. Breathe in. Twist left. Breathe out. You can stay, or right hand across your chest, left hand high. Left shoulder leans back, maybe the half bind. Option to open arms wide. And travel slowly to your warrior two. Again, I'm going to come up through crescent lunge and then open. Tailbone lengthens down. Left shin presses forward. Super strong. Straighten your front leg. Right hand to right hip. Back foot steps up about halfway, and we'll set it for triangle. Left hip tucks behind the right. Left hand low, right arm high. Blocks are great under the left hand here. And then very last time, right hand goes behind the back, half bind. Some will take fingertips to thigh. Some will set up for full bind. Left hand behind the leg. But no matter what, belly button rotates up towards the ceiling. Both feet press down. Now, careful release of any bind, no slingshot. Bend your front knee and swivel into the center, wide leg forward fold. 10 toes face the right, hinge from your hips. If there's an arm variation you're craving, you're welcome to it. Some options are hands together behind your back, hands to hips, or hands to big toes. Release hands down to the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Stand all the way up. Breathe out. All 10 toes face the front. Let's set up for that pyramid pose. Back foot is out at about 45 degrees. This time, hands to hips. Breathe in. And then hinge over hips. Breathe out. Hands come down towards your blocks. Or you can bend the knees a bit to take hands down to the ground. But what we really want here is for the spine to stay long and not rounding. Left hip draws up and back. Press through left big toe mound. Press through back edge of right foot. Hug navel in. Revolve triangle. Right arm low. Left arm reaches up. Rotate your heart up towards the ceiling. One more breath in and release back down. Lift the back heel, let's set up lizard lunge. Right knee down to the mat, hands inside of left foot. You can stay right there. You can open the knee, you can take the bind or come down onto forearms. No matter what, sternum stays lifting and open. All right, make your way back to low lunge. Hands frame your front foot, back knee lifts. Last time, step back to high plank, breathe it in. And a vinyasa if you want it. Very last one. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg lifts high behind you. Knee to right wrist for half pigeon, or you can turn onto your back for reclined pigeon. If you're on your back, left foot flat on the mat with right ankle crossing over left thigh for a figure 4 shape. Now, pigeon pose should never feel like a strain. It should never feel painful in your joints. So if you are experiencing that, just let me know, turn your mic on, and I'm happy to give some more cues or some prop suggestions. We want to keep you safe in these poses. We'll spend a moment on each side. Stay for one more round of breath. And then take your time coming out of this first side. If there's a pose that you like in between sides, you're welcome to it, whether it's back to down dog or hugging your knees into your chest. And then set up your second side, left knee forward, right leg long behind you. Or turn onto your back, right foot flat on the mat, left ankle crossing over right thigh. The two sides of your body have completely different life stories, so don't expect them to feel the same. Allow them to be different and just add the supports that you need. One more round of breath. And make your way up to long arms or unwind. If there's a counter pose that you like, you're welcome to add it in. And we'll meet on our backs. You can bring a prop with you if you like to take supported bridge. And once you're on your back, arms long at your sides, we'll take a few rounds of bridges and maybe wheel. Feet flat, knees point up. Hug navel to the ground. Keep the navel engaged as you lift your hips up. Navel down, hips up. Shoulder blades roll down your back towards your hips. If you're on a block, you can stay there the whole time. Otherwise, breath in. And slowly make your way down to your mat. I'm having a cramp in my right side, so I'm going to stay on the block the whole time. Next round, arms long at your sides. Quick squeeze navel down. And inhale to rise up. If you're taking bridge, you're welcome to clasp your hands under your low back. Wiggle walk your shoulders in towards each other. Inner thighs engage towards each other, feet pressed down. Take a slow inhale and a slow return down to your mat. And last one, bridge, supported bridge or wheel. Navel in, hips lift. A third variation you might try is to lift the heels up off your mat, squeeze your glutes together. Stay with your breath. Last breath in. And slowly return down to your mat with control. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then land in either Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together and knees wide, or the opposite, knees together and feet wide. Soften or close your eyes. And see if you can pay attention to this stillness for just a moment. What is it like to land? Bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs and guide your knees back together. Hug them into your chest for a deep squeeze. You might even tuck chin towards your knees or reach for your feet, Apanasana. And we'll make our way up to a seat. If you're feeling dynamic, you can take a few rocks head to tail. Otherwise, roll safely to the side. And we'll meet with legs out long in front. You can always sit on a prop here that gives you more space in the low back, more space for your hamstrings. Press your heels forward. Inhale, sweep your hands up. And then pelvis tilts forward first. We'll come into Paschimottanasana. Hands to ground, legs or toes, but keep your spine long here. Shoulder blades draw down your back. Squeeze navel in. And then if you'd like, add the rounded back version, rolling down over your legs. Navel in, breathe into back body. Inhale, lift your gaze. And exhale up to tall seat. All right, take your left leg out wide. Right knee bends out to the side, sole to thigh. Press your left heel forward. Inhale, reach hands up, twist to look at your left toes, and then hinge down over your leg. You might add in a little twist to the left. Hands rest wherever they do comfortably. Navel in, back flexions. Slowly find halfway lift, look forward, and come up to a tall seat. We'll switch sides. Right leg out long, left sole to right thigh. Look over at your right toes. Inhale, sweep hands high. And exhale, hinge down over your leg, maybe a little twist to the right. Right thigh grounds down, navel in, breathe into back body. Half lift, breath in, and up to a tall seat. Last one, take both feet wide. Press your heels forward. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, hinge from your hips only as far as you can go comfortably. Spine stays long, so elbows draw down your back, heels press forward. And then if you're really craving it, you can round down through your spine. All right, half lift, look forward. And come on up to a tall seat. Hands under the knees to release the knees up towards the ceiling. And then make your way all the way onto your back. Final time. Bring right knee into your chest. Let your left leg stay long or bent. And swivel the right knee from side to side, massaging out your right hip joint. You might choose one spot to linger, or you might move continuously. Bring right knee back into the center. Supine twist, right knee to left side. Right arm opens wide. Breathe into right hip. Soften your neck and jaw. Notice your breath. And come on back to center. Both knees into chest. And then we'll switch. Right leg long. Hug your left knee and swivel it from side to side. If there's an interesting spot, feel free to linger there. Left knee into chest. Supine twist. Left knee to right side. Left arm opens wide. Navel in. Notice your breath. And come back to center. Both knees into chest. And let's take a happy baby's pose. Hands to feet, to ankles, or to thighs. If possible, keep your low back and your head flat on the mat. If that's not working out for you, take your hands to thighs instead of feet. Prioritize that safety of the spine and neck here. If all is well, you can take a rock side to side. You can lengthen through your legs or draw ankle circles. Happy baby can be the inversion that you stay in, or you can bring knees to chest and choose another inversion that can be waterfall, legs straight up towards the air. You can drape your calves over a piece of furniture for a nice low back release. Any active inversions that you're working on, or you can choose a supported bridge. We'll spend 1 whole minute in inversion today. Keep that breath pattern with you, the one you cultivated in your child's pose at the very start of practice. If you find your mind wandering, you might even try counting your breaths. Stay for 1 more round of breath. And then take your time coming down to the mat. We'll set up for a fish pose. Tuck your thumbs under your glutes. Lengthen your legs out long. And then press down through forearms to lift your heart up off the mat. You can wiggle, walk elbows in closer. Some will keep chin tucked, some will let the throat open. Point through your toes, hug your navel in, squeeze thighs. Lion's breath is there for you if you want it. That would be a deep breath in through your nose and an exhale with tongue out. And then carefully make your way down to the mat. Take any final poses or movement that you're still craving. There's no rush here. If there's a pose that you're working with, stay a little bit longer. If you are ready for Shavasana, you can make your way there. You might take traditional Shavasana, arms and legs long, or you might take constructive rest, feet flat with the knees pointing up, which tends to release the low back a little bit more. Arms rest wherever they're comfortable. Let your shoulders relax down to the mat. Allow your spine to lengthen and widen. And release your breath back to its organic pattern. We have 8 minutes for Shavasana today, so a nice full Shavasana. Become curious about your breath, about sensations, about thoughts, sounds as they pass by. I'll stay with you until the end of practice, so I'll let you know when it's time to wrap up. Final resting meditation. Shavasana. Just notice your breath. And begin to invite some movement into hands and feet, into muscles of your face. You might turn your head side to side or take your arms past your ears. And turn on to either side. Make your way up into a comfortable seat with palms together at heart center. We honor our practice with a final slow breath in and out. Lift your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Thank you so much for sharing your practice this evening. Namaste.